So let's begin by settling the body. So let's begin by settling the body, adopting a stable, comfortable, upright positions are visible for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap, right over left, with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching, not leaning, but we also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position, just allowing the body to fall into place. Then we begin to move the mind inward, away from the external environment, constraining our awareness just to the body and mind, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. And we begin to concentrate that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation that accompanies the in breath and the out breath, particularly in the space, the opening of the nostrils, giving ourselves the instruction to notice quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind. And then, without judgment or frustration, to lift our awareness up from those distractions and to place it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. And then when the mind becomes more calm, we generate a broad altruistic motivation for our time, recognizing the need to cultivate beneficial, constructive states of mind to grow our capacity for loving kindness, compassion, generosity, patience, ethics, recognizing that in doing so, we naturally, spontaneously will be of greater and greater benefit to sentient beings, while at the same time seeing the need to reduce destructive states of mind, hatred, jealousy, malice, seeing the danger that those states of mind possess for oneself and for others, wanting not to harm any other sentient being, and understanding that our success in reducing these afflicted states is directly related to whether or not we will harm others, seeing them as obstacles to our spiritual growth and development. So, taking as our purpose the cultivation of those positive mental states and removal, the eventual removal of those destructive states of mind for the purpose of being able to effectively work for the benefit of others. And with that motivation, I'll contemplate a powerful antidote to undermining many of those afflicted states, which is to become deeply familiar with the realities of impermanence and the reality of our own mortality. We begin to recognize that ordinarily, whenever we perceive the appearance of that object to the mind, it seems permanent, unchanging. When we perceive something pleasant, it seems as though it would always be pleasant, always function to induce pleasant thoughts, pleasant feelings. When something seems unpleasant, We think of it as being in the nature of unpleasantness, as though those difficult aspects will always be operating, and we have no choice but to be negatively impacted. But in reality, no object has the power to last forever. When we analyze the nature of things, we see that by their own power, they are changing moment by moment by moment. They change in this way because they depend upon causes and conditions. One's own body came together in the womb, in dependence upon mother and father, and it continues in dependence upon the presence of nutritious food, clean water, protection from the elements, everything in the natural world, everything produced by man, all depend upon causes and conditions in the same way. And therefore, anything that we can see or taste or touch, smell, hear, is changing moment by moment by moment, and also tending toward dysfunction, tending toward dissolution. Simply because an object depends upon its causes and conditions, requires its impermanence. So think about the last few weeks. Think of something that you observed that seemed pleasant, that triggered a sense of clinging, a sense of not wanting to be separated. And analyze the nature of that object, whether animate or inanimate. And recognize that by its own nature, it's tending toward dissolution. So there's a certain futility and grasping, clinging. And perhaps the thing that we cling to the most is this body and this mind remaining together in this life. And yet the body is tending toward its own dissolution, no matter how many friends or loved ones, no matter how many possessions, no matter how much wealth, power, influence, or knowledge I possess. The aging process will continue, and the body will cease to support our consciousness at some point. That point is completely unknown, completely unknowable. We woke up again in this life this morning, but many thousands of people did not. Some younger than us, some who seemed healthier than us. So there's no guarantee that tomorrow we wake up again in this life. So think along these lines and try to generate a strong insight into the fragility of this life. And think that when body and mind separate, the mind continues. And so the content of that mind is critically important. That which the mind has become familiar with will remain and influence future lives. The tendencies, the habits that we've cultivated, those impulses remain part of the mind. So, given the uncertainty that we face, we should try to cultivate the mind in a positive direction without delay, and try to generate that insight as well. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. We'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, which has generated positive energy in the mind, and think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice, that positive energy, for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking strongly, when that positive energy ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve the state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled. And may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.